Welcome to the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan. Coach, another week, another win.
Yeah, it felt great. It was a huge win for us to start out conference play and to beat Bethel at Bethel, which that hasn't been done since 2005 by the Maroon and Gold. So we were pretty fired up about that.
Now, the weekend didn't get off to quite the start we thought it would.
No,
Tell us a little bit about that.
No, it did not. But, Friday, our typical routine is a 4 o'clock walkthrough, and then we get on the buses about 40 minutes later, and we take 2 buses. We're heading down the interstate, and we're eating in Alexandria. Everything's good. Well, we get close to Monticello, and we hit the rest stop area because one of the buses had a belt malfunction, and what we ended up having to do was to take everybody off of one bus, put them onto one. Support staff and assistant coaches all voted for the head coach to go with the team to the hotel. So I took all the guys into the hotel, and everything worked out fine. We got 2 buses. The morning came. None of our guys knew anything else was wrong, so it was all good. It was all good.
This is the first half here, first play of the game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was a hard-fought first half, both teams going back and forth. We scored first, which was really good to kind of get the momentum in our corner. I thought our defense played fantastic all day long, holding that high-powered offense in check. Here's a little quick kick that we used. We were about 4th and 2, about midfield. There's been times that we will go for it at that time.
Yeah, I've seen that before, and it's pretty successful.
Yeah, it was probably our best punt of the day, and we'll see some of those down the road here too. But there was a great gang tackle, and again, holding a lot of their key weapons in check. Again, Bridgeport Tussler, probably one of the better backs in the league. He's really athletic. Alex Berg did a really nice job in wrapping him up there.
And they forced a punt?
Forced a punt, and went into the end zone, which we get the ball back, and here's Mike coming out on a little sprint out, and this was a big 3rd down conversion for us too. Matt Conley made a nice grab, got his hands underneath the ball. It was a great call. Mike's hurting pretty good there. I came out and gave him some positive wisdom by just telling him, great throw, first down. We were excited, and he was just looking at me, Coach, I can't breathe. I said, well, it's a first down, baby. Let's go. And we had a little malfunction in getting that snap, but he made a great throw again to Matt Conley. We had the wheel open, too, so we had 2 options there. We're on the 1-yard line. We run a little power play to Dane Ringquist. We get in the end zone. Our guys are loving it. Let the Hogs go over there. They're loving it up right now. And we're up 7-0.
Yeah. What a way to start the game. You talked about starting fast, and that's what you guys did.
No question about it. That's huge for us, and especially when you're on the road and you're at a place at Bethel. It's always a tough place to play. And here's our kickoff coverage. It wasn't probably our better day of coverage, but over the years, Bethel has been very successful with their KO return.
This right here is a big hit on 3rd down.
Big hit on 3rd down. We had some big stops all day long. It's great to see the emotion. Our kids were ready to play, and you could see it in their eyes, and they wanted this one.
Now you come out the next drive, the drive stalls out. They get a big play up the sideline, and then they hit for a nice quick pass to the sideline there.
Yep, and we were in pretty good position. Matty Arndt almost had a deflection there, but the kid made a great grab, and now they're in the end zone, and we're tied at 7.
This is later on in the second quarter, just leading up into half.
Yep, just now a little hitch play, Dylan Herkler, and here's kind of where our malfunction started happening. Dallas Raftavood, who's usually a pretty good on-target snapper, he over the head shoots our punter. But, geez, I'll tell you what, for Eddie Clifton to have the wherewithal to grab the ball, get into a rugby-style kick, and still get it off, then they missed the field goal right before halftime. So we go in, knotted at 7.
Yeah, Coach, that was quite the momentum killer, that punt there, snap over the head.
No question about it. Think about it now. If he doesn't get that punt off, and all of a sudden they're sitting with a short field, and that's right before halftime. So we were so thankful that he was able to get it off. And they did a nice job moving down the field. We had a nice stop. They brought their field goal unit on, and they went wide left with it. So that was a breath of fresh air on the Cobber sideline, that's for sure. 7-7 at halftime. on the road, we'll take it.
And when we return, we'll have those second half highlights.
The one thing that's going to be constant is you are going to be flying around for 60 minutes, making plays all day long.
Coach, now we come back to look at the second half. There was a lot going on in the second half here, and you guys came out and sort of took control of the game for a while there, but things got a little scary late in the game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I was extremely proud of our staff and our kids. I thought we had a great halftime adjustments and just talking with our guys about what we needed to do. We came out in that third quarter and we were extremely strong. Opening kickoff, didn't go as well as we would wanted it to. They got some yards on it, but we corralled them up. Our defense comes out. We get a 3-and-out, Norm, and that was a huge momentum lift. Our offense gets back on the field, and we end up getting on a 13-play drive that went over 7 minutes, and we end up scoring on it. So it was a huge start to the second half. We had some big third down plays, and one of them was right here. It was about a third and about 12, I believe, and we complete a little comeback route. Here we run a little midline option. Dane Ringquist makes a great cut. He's had a really good start to our season.
Watch this run by Herzog.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a bulldog. He has a bulldog mentality. He's a running style QB, and he can beat you with his arm too. He's got a strong arm. Here's a nice pitch to Jason Montoni. We got great perimeter blocking. We're in the end zone, and it's 14-7 right now, and the guy's showing him some love, getting after it. That was a great start to the third quarter, exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, and Eddie Clifton once again makes his extra point, making it 14-7. You kick off and
14-7, get another kickoff, and our guys corral up and do a nice job and make a play. Our defense is back on the field, and I believe they get about 5-6 plays in, and we end up recovering a fumble. But right here, I mean, look at the guys getting after it and making plays.
Now this right here, this is just a football, I think it was an instinctual move.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Dallas Raftevold gets a targeting call, and it was the right call. And Dallas had to sit out the whole second half, and now the first half of our next game as well. And he's our snapper, and he was our holder too. So I mean, he does a lot for us. But now, next play from scrimmage, huge. Noah Welsh picks off the ball, and we get a big fumble recovery. Gets our offense back on the field, and we go on an 11-play drive that eats up the clock again with some big runs like this from Michael Herzog and company. And our offensive line did a really good job of paving the way. Here's another pitch. Austin Monum, one of our transfers from Minnesota State University Moorhead, coming in, starting to feel more healthy, and it was just good. It was really good to see, and you could see Bethel's defense was really getting tired. Ryan Seahawk coming around the edge on a little perimeter pitch play off our triple option. Here we get into the fourth quarter, and it was 1-2 plays later, we're in the end zone. Mike comes with a little QB counter coming off of our option attack, and he's showing his excitement right there. Now it's 21-7 after Eddie Clifton's kick, and we're feeling really, really good at the beginning of the fourth quarter here.
Yeah, the offense was really, really feeling good, and you could tell in the first half that you guys were finding some creases in that defense.
Yeah, no question about it. And you know what was really great to see is both sides of the ball were really feeding off each other. Our kids, again, I'll say it, we were into this game. We were focused up. Got a couple of interference calls. You know, it is what it is. It happens, and you just got to rebound on it and play the next play. But we continued to keep giving great effort and surrounding people, and
got them off the field right there.
Got them off the field is right. Guys just continue to keep battling.
They lost their quarterback on this play.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to them. They brought in their backup, and he led to one of their scoring drives, and he's a good athlete too, Trey Anderson. And here's our second snap. So again, Eddie Clifton, he's able to pick the ball up and stay poised enough and rugby style kick it. And Bridgeport Tussler comes up, makes a good catch, gets about 3 or 4 extra yards. And here's the game winner right here. A little Hank Van, was that?
No, this was right before they scored.
Okay.
this quarterback utilizes his feet a lot more.
Yeah, he is. He's
starter.
athletic. He played against us last year, and his dad was a very good quarterback for Bethel back in the days too. Here's our big
this
block.
was huge right here.
Yeah, Coach Mistro, our special teams coordinator, he put this in this week, and we just felt we could put some pressure in the A-gaps and get our big paws in the hair with Colton Mingus and Andy McDonald.
You almost hit on a third down
We
play
did.
there, had to give the ball up, and here comes Bethel.
Yep, just missed it, and now he's athletic, and that ends it for us. Now the best formation of all is a victory formation,
here
and
it
taking
is.
the knee, and
Here it is
I
right
love
here,
this
Coach.
play right here. It's my favorite.
There it is.
It's a good win for us, Norm. It was a great win for us to start out conference play. It's just one game, though. We know that, and now we run into a bye week here, and we get into Gustavus.
You know, Coach, being on the sideline for that game, I could totally feel the momentum shifts all through the game. It was very, very exciting. You guys came in with a message to punch, 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 and finish the process, so to say. And that's what you did. The guys really did. You wanted to finish. Guys talked about having a hard time finishing sometimes. You guys came out and finished this one.
Yeah, thanks, Norm. We talked about that all week. You know, we thought against Wisconsin-Eau Claire, we had 3 really good quarters. We weren't pleased with our fourth quarter, and certainly in the way we finished that game. And that was kind of the message all week. And our kids, you got to give them credit. They went out and they executed. They got after it. They played with a lot of emotion and excitement, and it's great to see them smiling after a hard-fought win.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the locker room before the game. You wanted them to wear their smiles. And
yeah, no
that
question
they did.
about it. A few of our coaches keep talking about that to our kids, and it's important that they do because it's still a game, and they got to have fun. And when we're playing relaxed, we're flying around making plays in all 3 phases.
Yeah. When we return, we'll catch up with senior defensive back Matt Arndt.
Listen up, listen up. Hey, get in there.
We're now joined by senior defensive back and captain Matt Arndt. Matt, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from?
Sure. My name is Matt Arndt. I'm a senior from Benson, Minnesota, located in the west central part of the state, and I play strong safety for the Concordia Copper Blackshirt defense.
Now, you went to Benson High School. You were a 3-sport athlete at Benson High School, football, basketball, and baseball. Are there any attributes from basketball and baseball that you still use today?
Well, especially in the secondary, you're incorporating a lot of skills of speed, strength, and just athletic versatility when it's jumping, running, and making plays on the ball. So, definitely being a 3-sport athlete helps be well-rounded. So at any time you can make those plays when the ball comes your way.
Okay. And what made you choose Concordia?
Definitely the home-like atmosphere and feel. From the start, Coach Tran came and visited me, and we just had conversation about kind of what my fit would be in the team, and it just felt like the right decision.
Okay. And what's the academic environment like here at Concordia?
It's definitely challenging, but rewarding at the same time. Being a student athlete definitely makes you realize how to balance your life and your schedule, and help prioritize all the important things. Make sure that you have time for football and yet still balance your studies.
Okay. And what's your major, and what do you want to do with that after Concordia?
My major is healthcare administration, and so it's incorporating a lot of business techniques and strategies, but also bringing it to healthcare and hospitals and in nursing homes and those type of organizations. So after school, I'll be looking to get some experience more in the healthcare field in Fargo-Moorhead and other parts of the state.
Okay. Now you're a captain, and what type of leadership skills do you possess as a captain? How do you get your message across to maybe the younger guys?
Yeah, I'm not really much of the rah-rah guy.
All you guys say that first of all, just to let you know.
Yeah, and so I'm more of a kind of a conversation, just talk guys down, calm them down if in high-pressure situations. Lead by example rather than a screaming guy, but in all that's important too. And so every captain that we have on the team brings something special, and so I just try to help do my best, help younger guys feel part of the team help make sure our team's going in the right direction.
Now, you play on the same side of the ball with your little brother. Mm-hmm. What's that like, and did you have any influence in him choosing Concordia over somewhere else?
Well, and it's really exciting, and it's nice having him out there alongside of me, and so we always kind of look at each other. We kind of have an idea of what's coming, or I kind of have a good read of how he plays and how he knows how I play. When it comes to this decision, though, I tried not to influence it as much as possible, knowing that it still would be very cool to have him come play with me. But I told him, take your visit on your own, do it with other members of the team, and have an open mind. I mean, don't just come here because I came here. Come here because you want to come here and do your own thing. So ultimately, he fell in love with the school like I did and decided to come here. And he's having a good experience, and it is super fun playing with your brother. So.
But you did make sure he had a great time when he came to visit, right?
Yeah, definitely presented the pros of the school for sure.
Of course you did. Okay. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you joining us. And that was Matt Arndt, senior defensive back for the Concordia Cobbers. We're now joined by defensive backs coach and co-special teams coordinator Brian Mistro. Thanks for joining us, Brian.
Thanks, Norm. Pleasure to be here.
Okay, tell us a little bit about you. What's your hometown?
Well, so for me, I have a weird upbringing, I guess you could say. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I lived there until I was 10 years old, in Calumet City area. And then my parents moved to Arizona, so I grew up in Gilbert, Arizona. I went to high school there. And then after I graduated high school, I was fortunate enough to play college football. I went to a school about 90 miles west. Coach Horan didn't recruit me to come to Concordia, so that's why I would have came here in a heartbeat. But I went to Jamestown College, played there for 4 years, and then I was fortunate enough to get a graduate assistantship to be a football coach at Northern State down in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Was there for 2 years. I got my master's degree, and Coach Horan called, and they needed a defensive backs coach, and I fit the profile, came on an interview, and then had a great time and moved up right after that.
Cool. You bring a special type of enthusiasm to the team. I've watched you in the pregame talks before, twice now, I guess I should say. And the guys, they respond to what you say, but I think it's almost like an older brother type vibe they get from you. A very well-respected vibe, but an older brother type vibe, something where I think they really relate to you, and that shows when they come out to play.
And for me, I try not to be, I'm not a dictator, right? Like, we're all in this together. We're moving in the same direction, and I want those guys to respect their coaches, of course, but I also want them to know that, hey, I'm going to fight tooth and nail with you. And just by my nature, I tend to be loud and obnoxious sometimes, but there's a passion that I have that I want the kids to share with. And I think if I can bring that out sometimes and let it go before a pregame speech and wear my smile, as Coach Horan says, then it turns out to be pretty cool.
Okay, so you're saying Terry Horan is a dictator?
No, not all the time. I mean, that's why I'm only the co-special teams coordinator and not the special teams coordinator.
I'll mention that too. You guys run a 3-4 defense. How does that work for defensive backs?
For us, and I tell our safeties need to be the general of our defense. We need to make sure that all the linebackers know what they're doing in coverage, as well as our corners. I tell our corners, though, they need to be dumb and athletic. I really want those guys to be dumb and athletic. Don't think too much, because corner is one of the hardest positions to play.
That it is.
One of the easiest ones to know, but one of the hardest ones to play. And so if I can get those guys zoned in and knowing what they need to do, from their safety telling them what to do, they can really just focus on that, and they don't have to think as much. You think, it makes you slow.
Okay. And how encouraging was the defensive performance on Saturday? There were multiple times where, they really could have caved in, but, they came in with a bend but don't break approach late in the game, and they kept coming up with the plays to seal the victory.
I think that's something that we really want to pride ourselves on is okay, we can't let the big play happen. In the first week of the season, that was something that we allowed, and we didn't want to let that go in further in down the year. So we talked to our guys about, hey, we're going to play some of our base stuff, guys. Let's do it well. Make the game smaller than it needs to be. If your read is to read this guy, make it a one-on-one game. Don't make it an 11-on-11. Make it a one-on-one. You do your job, and we're going to be just fine. And over the course of the game, you could see that happening. We just started falling into the right places. Now, they missed some plays too over on the other side, but I think for us, ultimately, we did our job and we had a great time.
It was a great job by you and the defensive coaches for getting those guys in the right position and to hold on for that victory.
Yeah, they make us look good sometimes. I mean, I'll tell you what, Coach Bakken's calling the D, and I'm up in the box, and there's a couple of times where we get a play call in and say, hey, we know where our holes are at, and let's make sure that we cover those up and make the plays when they present them.
That was defensive backs coach / co-special teams coordinator Brian Mistro.
There's nothing better for me as a football coach than to watch all of you guys jacked up, happy, having fun, flying around, playing this game with each other.
Coach, you guys have a bye week this week. You get a chance to rest up, maybe, heal a few injuries, and then it's on to Gustavus.
Yeah, no question about it. I don't know if a bye week can ever come at a good time, and to be honest with you, but we haven't had one in the middle of our season for a while. We'll take it. We do have some boys that need to heal up. We have a couple offensive linemen that haven't played a whole lot for us that are upperclassmen that we need. We have probably one of our top defensive ends that hasn't played the last couple of weeks, and we need him to heal up. So this comes at a good time. We'll have 3 practice days. It's still a good work day for us. We got to get some things accomplished, and we got to get better, but we'll probably idle back on some of our periods, and then we'll give the kids Friday and Saturday off to go home. When you start in the middle of August, they don't have a whole lot of time, to go back home and see parents and family other than at games for a little bit, So give our kids a few days off and be back in on Sunday getting ready to go for Gustavus. And we know what we're going to be seeing from Gustavus. They're going to be probably, right now they're undefeated. They play Hamlin this weekend, and Hamlin's undefeated, so it should be a pretty good contest. They're a well-coached football team. They changed their defense up a little bit. They used to be an even front. They've gone on to a 3-4. So we're going to have to study that up a little bit. And offensively, boy, they've been pretty even, Steven. They're averaging about 190 yards a game, both running and passing. So we know we got our hands full. We lost a heartbreaker down there last year, so I know our boys have been waiting for this one.
The Cobbers enjoy a bye week this week, and then it's on to Gustavus for a 1 o'clock kickoff on October 1st from Gustavus Adolphus. This has been the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan.